Hey guys, welcome to Grace Automation and Engineering Services. In this video, we are going to discuss automation of a color mixing tank. Here in the description, we can see that there are two solenoid valves for inlet and one for the outlet. So in the tank there are two sensors, sensor 1 and 2, to detect the level of the material in the container, and there is a motor for mixing the colors. So two different colors will be poured into the tank and then will be mixed for the specific time, and this mixture will be poured out of the tank through this solenoid valve 3. So the requirement is that initially all the valves should be closed. When pressing the start button, the valves V1 and V2 should open and the colors should be poured into the tank. So when the tank gets full detected by the sensor S1, when both of the sensors are on, the inlet valves V1 and V2 should be turned off and the mixing process should start. Mixing will keep on for 45 seconds, and after that the valve V3 will be opened to pour out the mixture from the tank. When the level goes down, these two sensors are turned off. Firstly, the sensor 1 will be turned off, and when the level of the material in the tank will be below sensor 2, this will be also off. So when these both of the sensor will be off, means tank is about empty. So we shall turn off the valve V3 and the valves V1 and V2 will be turned on again, so that the raw material should be poured into the tank and mixing should be done again. Here we can see that as per requirement. So the process will keep on repeating for 5 times, and after that we would have to press the start button again, and in case of emergency, stop push button will be pressed. As a result, a red light will be on and process will stop. So between the cycles, which will be automatically repeating, there will be a delay of 1 minute here. So these delays, we shall keep the delay of less time for the testing. So let's move towards the TIA portal. Here we have designed the logic to control the system. Here is the start button, stop, and the valves outputs and the sensors inputs. So let's turn on the simulator so that we can test the logic. Now let's monitor the logic. First of all, here we can see that all the outputs are off. Valve V1, V2 are off, V3 is off, motor is off. So let's press the start button. Here we can see that after pressing the start button, valve V1 and V2 are turned on. So valves are on and color from these pipes are being poured into the tank. Now let's suppose that liquid level is going up. Firstly, the sensor 2 will be detected. So let's turn it on, and then sensor 1 will be detected. Here we can see that when both of the sensors are turned on, V1 and V2 has turned off and the motor has turned on. The motor will keep on for 30 seconds. Here instead of 45 seconds I have took the less time so that we may test it in short time. So here motor is on, and after the 30-second motor will turn off and valve V3 will open. So here we can see that valve V3 is open. Now the motor has turned off. So now valve V3 is open means the mixture is going out of the tank, so the level will go down and these sensor will be turned off. So firstly the sensor 1 will be turned off and then sensor 2. So let's turn these off. Sensor 1 off, then sensor 2 off. So here we can see that valve V3 has turned off and there is a wait for 15 seconds to start the next cycle. So after the 15 seconds we can see that valves V1 and V2 has turned on. So here for the testing, after 2 cycles the system should stop and wait for the start button. So here 1 cycle has completed. Now after the 2nd cycle the system will stop and wait for the start button. So let's turn the sensors again on. Firstly sensor 2 and then sensor 1. So now the motor has turned on. It will keep on for 30 seconds mixing the material and then the mixture will be poured out. Here we can see that now the valve V3 is open. Now turn off the sensors. After turning off the sensors you can see that the valves are turned off, but the cycle cannot be started again until the start button is pressed again. So after the 2 cycles we need to press the start button again. So here we can see that after pressing the start button valves V1 and V2 are turned on again. So now let's test the stop button. Here if we press the stop button, here we can see that valves are turned off that were previously on and a red light has turned on. No output is on at this time, you can see, and a red light is on. So to start the system again we need to press the start button again. So let's press the start button. Here we can see that pressing the start button the system has started again. So logic is working fine. Thanks for watching. See you next time.